communication models, different models of communication. In this lesson, we offer you valuable insights into how scientists have developed various models of communication based on the flow of messages from an individual to another. While most of these models deal with how messages have been directed to a specific destination, some models have been specifically described as linear models or transmission models. The lesson tries to draw distinction between various models of communication based on their ability to influence society at large. Objectives of this lesson: to show how flow of human messages is directed from source to destination, to inform the learners that all humanistic models appear to be mechanistic models of communication, to draw distinction between various models of communication in the manner they are targeted to influence the individuals of society. Linear models of communication. Models of communication are usually conceptual. They are based on mechanistic process of communication. But earlier to development of adoption of mechanistic process of communication as models of communication, communication is conceived as a flow of messages in a linear model. The foundation for linear model of communication was laid during the Second World War. Harold Laswell, a senior political scientist who was acting as an advisor to the US government during the Second World War, developed a communication model which is also called as magic bullet theory or hypodermic needle theory. His ideas culminating into this theory have originated from his famous work Propaganda Technique in the World War, published in 1927. This communication model envisages flow of messages in a linear model in the order who says what, to whom, in what channel, with what effect. Laswell developed this model to counter Nazis' propaganda adopted in the films to persuade the Germans for continuation of war and success of Nazis. Following Laswell's linear model of communication in 1940, the definition of propaganda has got grounded firmly in the literature of media studies and in political rhetoric. Accordingly, propaganda is defined as the expression of opinions or actions carried out deliberately by individuals or groups with a view to influence opinions or actions of other individuals or groups for predetermined ends through psychological manipulations. This is the underlying principle of magic bullet theory or hypodermic needle theory. Consequently, the model is also described as strong effects model or direct effects model. Laswell's contemporary Paul Lazarsfeld in 1944, who is also a political scientist in the US, has moderated strong effects model to medium effects model. There are many communication scientists who argued in favor of Laswell's strong effects model even today. Paul Lazarsfeld has proposed that the conceived strong effects of linear flow of messages is not really there. He argued that linear messages cannot directly influence the opinion of the people. However, forcefully, the people are repeatedly subjected to such messages. He alternatively suggested that the flow of messages directed to the people through their peer groups and opinion leaders help form an opinion. Thus, he has brought into consideration single-step flow of messages or multi-step message flows. Laswell's theory of linear message flows led to establishing political psychology, a new branch of political science appropriating Freud's psychology. Paul Lazarsfeld has further expanded it by conducting behavioral research on the US citizens during the presidential elections. Mechanistic models of communication. Shannon and Weaver model. Claude, Elwood, Shannon, and Weaver are pioneers in developing the first major model of communication in 1948 while working in Bell Laboratories. The basic concept of this model of communication is the process of sending and receiving messages or transmitting information from sender to receiver, simulating the telephonic model of communication, the two engineers proposed the above model of communication. Shannon and Weaver model of communication envisaged the role of interference in the flow of messages as happens in telephonic conversations. They described the interference as noise. The original model of Shannon and Weaver consists of 5 elements: information, source, transmitter, channel, receiver, and destination. The first step in this flow of communication is to identify source of information. The next step in the flow of information is to send information in the forms of messages encoded into signals so that it can travel to its destination. After encoding of the messages, the latter goes through the channel. The coded signals are transmitted to the receiver where they get decoded and sent to destination. In case of noise or interference, the messages encoded into signals get corrupted and their decoding at the receiver end fails to deliver the message in its original virginity. The strengths of this model are its simplicity, generality, and quantifiability. The model is thus called transmission model, which formed the basis of information flow in radio and television later. However, Shannon and Weaver model is not without problems. There is no mechanism to adjust the interference of noise, which can be in several forms: technical, semantic, and effectiveness. David Berlow expanded linear transmission model in 1960, in which he described the flow of messages through a series of barriers such as sender, message, channel, receiver, model of communication. Later, Wilbur Schramm introduced a model that identified multiple variables in communication, which includes the transmitter, encoding, media, decoding, and receiver. David Berlow also discussed several factors that influence the communication process: the communication skills, awareness level, social system, cultural system, and attitude are a few that Berlow pointed out as influencing the effectiveness of communication process between two individuals. Wilbur Schramm and Osgood circular model of communication. Wilbur Schramm and Osgood proposed a communication model that is based on the notion that communication is a shared experience, as explained in previous lesson. According to them, the encoding and decoding of the messages were the most important components of the flow of communication. They suggested that communication need not be linear always, it can be circular. They treated sources and encoder as one and decoder and destination as another person. They also argued that the level of the message at the source and the destination should be the same even when quantified. Both Schramm and Osgood viewed that the experience of communication is mostly cultural, not mechanistic, as held by their predecessors, an idea which is sequel and extension of Berlow's conceptualization. Wilbur Schramm and Osgood model of communication assumes the operation of messages in situations like group communication or corporate communication, where the messages are in the form of feedback giving a person's advice or an opinion or an experience. In spite of these merits, their model has been recognized as stifled with 3 important impediments. 1. Syntactic, formal properties of signs and symbols. 2. Pragmatic, concerned with the relations between signs or expressions and their users. And 3rd, semantic, related to the relationships between signs and symbols and what they signify. Schramm and Osgood model appears to be the basis for today's modern Facebook in many ways. Barland model of communication. To offset the deficiencies in the model of Wilbur Schramm and Osgood, Barland in 1970 proposed a transaction model in which individuals are engaged in simultaneous production and reception of messages. In this model of communication, sender and receiver are linked reciprocally. The way individual or group communicates with another is the prime determinant of how messages are to be viewed, interpreted. Therefore, this model of communication is called as Constitutive or constructionist communication is viewed as a conduit or a passage. The information passed on from one individual to another is distinct from the communication itself. For instance, in the act of speeches, the sender's personal filters and the receiver's personal filters vary depending on the regional traditions, cultures, and gender. Thus, the meaning transmitted by the speaker in a speech need not be understood in the same sense by the end users or receivers. There is no way the noise or interference can be remedied in this model, though it is suggested to follow some codes. Ritual model of communication. James Carey has proposed this model of communication, where in communication, the construction of symbolic reality represents, maintains, adopts, and shares the beliefs of society in time. In short, the ritual view conceives communication as a process that enables and enacts societal transformation. Carey opined that ritual view of communication comprises sharing, participation, association, and fellowship. He has tried to associate this model of communication with communion, community, which automatically aligns with religious connotations as well. Shared religious beliefs and ceremonies are central to ritual model of communication. Ritual model of communication today embraces all modern forms of communication obtaining from new media such as Twitter, Web 2.0, etc. Though there are many communication models each developed based on a social situation or a context, this lesson does not intend to go into all those due to limitation of scope and space. However, it should be borne in mind that as the age of communication expanded, coinciding with the explosion of technologies, the emerging models became more and more social and cultural than technological. This is a paradox that we notice in the communication models, which began with simulation of technological experiences initially. Now, despite extensive technological applications in social interactions, emphasis is more on cultural dimension. Visual communication has also transformed a great deal since its initial formats over a century of development of technology. One need not have any doubt whether all the communication models dealt above apply to visuals. They do apply without an iota of deviation. It is a well-known fact in media studies that a photograph or a painting or a picture speaks 10,000 words than a sentence or a word or a message. Given such importance to a visual and the manner it would set off the messages in a flow from a sender or visual, the rest of all follow a similar pattern as explained in different models of communication above. One might have often heard how a particular drawing or a painting often set off a communal clash, taking heavy toll of life and property. The above study not only states the care one should give to making a visual, but cautions everyone involved in such visual making about a possible rebellion against such visual as well. In this model, the Lasswell's linear model of communication, which is also called magic bullet theory, you would see in the diagram there is a flow chart. This is actually not a horizontal one. You can clearly see the flow chart flows from top to down. The first one is who. Who is here connotated as sender and says what is connotated as message. Channel is connotated as medium, to whom is connotated as receiver, with what effect is the feedback. Top to bottom model rather than a horizontal model. Usually in the textbooks, one would find this as a linear model, but this is not a linear model. This is a top to bottom model as you see exactly depicted in this diagram. Therefore, my dear students, kindly understand that to interpret Lasswell's model, one should have a flow chart drawn from top to bottom, not horizontal. The next visual which you are seeing here is the two-step flow model. The two-step flow model drawn by Katz and Lazarsfeld in 1955 clearly establishes a fact that messages flow from mass media. And you can see in the diagram here, there are 4 arrows which point down towards their opinion leaders who are mentioned as dark spots in the diagram. You can see the dark spot in the diagram is given as opinion leader, and opinion leader gathering or followers is indicated by hollow circle. In the arrow which is marking towards the opinion leader is a single step flow. From the opinion leader, whatever is going to his followers, it is a two-step flow mechanism. So mass media to opinion leader is a single step flow, and from opinion leader, the messages which will flow to his followers or her followers, it is called two-step flow. In Shannon and Weaver's model of linear communication, you first time see the messages are depicted flowing in a linear fashion. You have an information source here on the left side. The source or information source, whatever you call, it is a message generating source. So it generates messages. Now you see the arrow pointing towards the transmitter. So these messages, they go into transmitter. Then from transmitter, you find another signal passing out towards right side. When these messages pass out towards the right side, they get converted, encoded into signals. And then they pass through noise and then get to the receiver, where the receiver decodes the signal, encoded signal, into again message, and from receiver you find an arrow flowing towards destination. Here message is reaching destination. Shannon and Weaver predicted that there can be three kinds of noise which will be interfering with the transmission of the messages. Therefore, they called it as mechanistic model of communication. These noises can be either technical or semantic. Now, when this noise interferes, what happens? When noise interferes, the original source which generated message will change. As a result, the message received at the destination will be different. So noise has the power of changing the message itself. Therefore, Shannon and Weaver model of linear communication is considered more technical and technological than humanistic. However, even in human communication, such kind of noise interference is not unusual. You can see in Wilberstrom and Osgood model of circular communication, you find the messages flowing in a circle fashion. You find on the right side as well as the left side one encoder, interpreter and decoder, and decoder, interpreter and encoder respectively. Here encoder, interpreter, decoder is same person. On the right side again, the decoder, interpreter, encoder is same person. In other words, it is a message transmission between two individuals. Now you see the message generation source is in the middle. You take from the clockwise direction, that is from the bottom. Here in the circle you find a mention of word message there. That means the bottom circle is message generating source, and it generates a source, it generates message, and which passes through the decoder, interpreter and encoder. After encoding, it passes through to the bottom through and reaches the bottom of the source, where message gets again transmitted to decoder and then interpreter and then gets encoder. Here the message gets translated into the actual source which has generated it. In this model, you find the magnitude, quality and quantity of the message generated, which passed through decoder, interpreter, encoder on the left side, and the message which was received by the decoder, interpreter, encoder on the right side is same. Therefore, Wilberstrom and Osgood model of circular communication is considered the feedback communication and the first ever feedback communication in mechanistic and human communications. It is also quite well received in the corporate group communication systems. Using this, today people are experiencing what Facebook is or Twitter is. That is the benefit of this model, which was discovered sometime in the 19th century. Berlow's model of communication is called transport communication. It is also called transmission communication. Here you find source on the right side and receiver on the left side. And what are various things that constitute source are given in the block boxes that are below the source. And what are different things that come under the receiver part are given on the right side of the receiver. Message means here content, elements, treatment, structure and code. Channel means either hearing channel or seeing channel or touching channel or smelling channel or tasting channel. So once a source is generated, it gets encoded into a message and passes to a channel. Which channel can be either hearing or seeing, touching or smelling or tasting. After passing through any of these channels, it gets decoded and receiver receives the message. This is the first model which envisaged a role for different channels, different types of contents to flow through as a transmission model or a transport model. The lesson has offered a vivid picture of how communication models have developed over a period of time. It also explained how the early political propaganda communication models developed by Lasswell and Paul Lazarsfeld have remained distinct from the later communication models developed on simulation of technological features of radio and television. The study further identifies how the communication scholars have attempted to bring improvements in the transmission models compared to linear models of communication involving an element of feedback, while Schramm and Osgood model has given space for social media like Facebook. The ritual model offered new vistas to open up for social media like Twitter and Web 2.0, etc. The study throws light further how visuals drawn without proper application of mind can throw open social chaos and anarchy as their messages flow through the above cited models of communication.